This is not VJ Emmie. This is not Uganda. This is Sam.
Beat the rat? Or beat Captain Alex? This is Jackie.
At some point, a man named Alex dies. This is Justin, and this is Who Killed Captain Alex.
What's that smell?
I don't know about you, but I'm thirsty as fuck. Thirsty as fuck.
Hey, look at this!
Thrill me.
If you come back in here, I'm gonna hit you with so many rights, you're gonna beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Hey, look at this!
No one! Hang on!
It stinks.
Hang on!
Get to the chopper!
Stinker Madness.
Hello and welcome to Stinker Madness, a podcast about bad movies by bad movie lovers for bad movie lovers. I'm your host, Justin. I already said all that. I got to get off of that. Now that we switched the intro, it's always like, it's like muscle memory. Your mouth just goes blah, 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 saying the same goddamn fucking thing you said for the last 5 years, you know?
Except you don't have any muscles or memory.
Or
so how does that work?
Who am I? Why can't I lift this? Who Killed Captain Alex from Wakaliwood Wakaliwood Studios. Picked to us, sent by Jack B, famed listener Jack B, also of Wakaliwood, I believe, is where he's from.
I don't think so.
No, I think he's in Cleveland or Des Moines or Miami. They're all the same. Miami, Ohio, that's where I was going. You guys think I was...
Yeah, because you know what? When I think about crazy gear switches and left turns, I think of Miami of Ohio. You know, Roethlisberger went there.
Hey!
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Jack, for, again, contributing massive monies to us, almost as much as Wakaliwood spent on this film, I believe, to keep us going and keep us buying new and better products and making the podcast better. If you would like to contribute as well, if you can match Jack B's Patreon support of $100 a month, we'll also get 2 picks a year. So go to patreon.com/stinkermadness and subscribe there. Also follow us on facebook.com, twitter.com, the LinkedIn. I think we got a profile there now. MySpace, we're still up on MySpace,
we're
right?
doing good on MySpace.
Yeah, man, we're killing MySpace.
My grandma is definitely following us there.
I don't think she is.
I was checking with a fan earlier. I'm pretty sure it was actually just the police trying to entrap me into a very questionable situation. That's still apparently happening on MySpace.
Nice, there you go.
Yeah.
We're big on Craigslist.
We were until they took the sex thing down.
Now we can't offer our services.
No, and that was the only time you could really get themes going too. Like
themes.
Yeah, baked beans, wrestling.
Oh, like the
cake sitting,
late night HBO show.
Well, if you couldn't just go on Craigslist and be like, "Do me," because no one would, right?
That's for Tinder, right?
No, but nobody will have sex with you if you just were like, "Oh, I want to have sex." Like, yeah, big fucking deal. Everybody does, right? You gotta reach out there. Be like, I got a kiddie pool and I got 40 gallons of baked beans. Then you get hits. People come back.
Do you think it's people that are into that, or are they like, at least he's trying, I'll go for it?
I think it's mostly like, well, I've never done that.
But hey, this guy put a vibe out. I like what he's laying down. It's not normally my thing. I'll invest in this opportunity.
Sure, absolutely.
This is what we had to do before we had Patreon.
Right. Yeah. Craigslist bean sitting. And then now
we reuse the beans.
Yeah, we just
put saran wrap over the little kiddie pool.
We just do the bean thing for free now, for enjoyment rather than for financial purposes.
The first time you just once you sink into those beans, you realize you're never coming back. It's like a waterbed.
So who killed Captain Alex from 2010? Correct, Sam?
2010.
Yeah.
Ish.
A movie that's currently streaming on YouTube for free, obviously. 64 minutes with some fiddly bits on the end. If you count the film directly, it's 104 minutes. So it's a very short film. So.
Yes.
Sam, why don't you tell us about who killed Captain Alex?
Oh, I'll start.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
Cool.
I just wanted to interrupt you.
Can he go now?
I'm trying to be like VJ Mike.
Okay.
Oh, right. VJ Emmie.
Then
Yeah, VJ Emmie.
VJ Emmie. So like when I'm in the middle of my first sentence, she'd be like, "This is Stinker Madness," and then just slap me and say, "Welcome to the basement." 'Cause that's what that guy does through the whole movie. I thought this was going to be the Operation Kakangorillo, which is the Ugandan Expendables. Was the subtitle, because I had actually heard about that before I heard about this, because that was, I guess, in one of Draft House's things in Austin. I guess. Guess.
All right.
Because that's supposed to have played at the last Draft House event last year, but IMDb doesn't have anything on it. It's not on their website.
Okay.
So I guess it exists, and maybe they're just so busy that they can't keep up with social media, because the last, chiming out of Wakaliwood was in 2016.
Of this studio, not
The Wakaliwood.
okay. Yeah. Which was the Big Black, I believe.
Big Black, yeah.
Okay.
But supposedly the one they did after that is done, and they screened it in Austin.
Huh.
I guess.
All right.
Maybe.
But we can't get our hands on it.
Yeah.
Fair
could
enough.
Be vaporware. We're not sure.
All right.
When this one came out, the YouTube trailer did 3.2 million
That's a lot.
views,
That's
something
good.
like
That's
that.
Pretty good. I would consider that going viral.
Yeah.
It's more than we've got. Our YouTube channel is not good.
Well, we had 500 views with our Bean video.
Right.
Well,
Like in our introduction to us, like, hey.
Did you put the link to the YouTube on the MySpace?
Right. Oh, man, I blew it. I did it all in GIFs,
no.
like the dancing banana GIF. And
You just need the Chihuahua jacking off. That's the only gift that you need.
What? There's a Chihuahua jacking off GIF?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
And it's like he's doing it like a human, too. It doesn't make sense.
There's
it's
something for
basically the
everyone,
thing
right?
from Garden State turned into a GIF.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's that Chihuahua who's got the one trick that he does.
Okay.
Creepy stuff. 10,000 DVDs they sold of this.
10,000
Official, and then the pirated versions, innumerable,
Yeah.
supposedly.
I wonder what the asking price would have been, because I'm sure it's not in Walmart, right?
No, but if you're making them yourself, you gotta at least double what it's costing to put them together.
10,000.
I would say, that he's gotta be going somewhere in between $5 and $10 American.
Yeah, somewhere in there is what I'd say. So 10,000 save low on 5. That's $50,000, dude.
The crew in Boise, that when any of us or them would make a video that was good enough of length, we'd sell them for $10.
Right.
Like, that's not too much to ask. It's crap, but it's worth $10.
Yeah. No, that's not bad. I would say that this was a major success then.
Oh yeah, no, it's a reported $200 investment.
$200 budget. That's insane. And it shows, obviously.
Yeah.
But, dude, still, that's pretty cool.
It is. Afterwards, when it kind of went viral, they did the Kickstarter thing, and they wanted like $160 or something.
Right,
like that.
right. We'll make the next one on.
We figured out how to trim the fat off of our productions,
We're
and I think we
pros
can
now.
really get this down to about $160. And then they got like $13,000, and it was like, oh fuck!
Now what do we do?
It's enough to keep their studio going for the rest of that guy's life.
Right.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. But one of the things that's interesting is that the stuff they probably spent money on didn't really make it into the movie.
Okay.
Notice that they kind of went to a post-production rather than trying squibs.
Right.
They tried to use actual squibs, and they made them out of originally condoms and cow blood.
Oh, boy.
They were trying to use real cow blood, but one of the guys got tetanus.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so they switched to food coloring
I
water.
hope he's okay.
I don't know what happens after you get tetanus. I know that we get shots so that we don't get it, right?
Right.
But like, what happens once you do get it?
You get lockjaw, and it's super painful.
Okay, so
Yeah, but the lockjaw I thought was one of the symptoms that happens before you die.
Yeah, like late tetanus.
Oh, I thought that was like
when
early signs of tetanus is your jaw starts like cramping up, and you're like, my blowjob career's over.
Yeah, that's
my problem.
Yeah.
Well, got to make some money for this podcast somehow. The baked beans aren't selling as well as they used to, and they've went up in price.
I don't think that's an offer you should put out there. Go ahead, Sam.
That's really about it.
That's as much as you're gonna go. As much as you're going to go deep into the Who Killed Captain Alec.
Oh, in terms of the history of Who Killed Captain, that's what there is.
Yeah.
So are the actors, are they...
Villagers.
Yeah.
That are his friends and his family. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is a pretty small area, and it's not... Uganda's actually got a really big population. I could go into a little bit of that.
Go ahead.
In 1950 there was 5 million people in Uganda. Right now there's like about 45 million people in Uganda. They've experienced something of an explosion in population. Yeah. That's probably part of when they got rid of that one guy. They're a bad guy.
He's a bad guy.
He was a bad guy. Idi Amin.
Idi Amin.
They kicked him out in was that 79, something like that? It was the year 79 or 80?
I think it was in the 80s, dude. I think it was early 80s. We got rid of Idi Amin.
Yeah, but it's...
Maybe I'm thinking
there was the Bush Wars after that. I mean, Uganda had a pretty rough go of it.
Yeah.
But it seems like they've had a stable government since 95 somewhat. They still have issues with torture and things like that.
Yeah, that's not good.
Do they have a lot of wildlife in Uganda? I don't know that much about
it's right
the
there,
area of Uganda itself.
It's right there with... it's on Lake Victoria. But Kenya gets more of the tourism side for Lake Victoria, I think.
Right.
They don't do bad tourist-wise, but they're not like a huge tourist draw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's you could pretty much throw a rock at anywhere in Africa, and there's going to be a shitload of wildlife anywhere, right?
And versus the surrounding countries, it's in terms of they're landlocked, one, which doesn't help, and then two, it's not very large area-wise versus all of its neighbors are much larger countries.
Yeah.
I think I should start a Patreon account so that I can live my dream
Of?
throwing a rock at a lion.
Oh, you did that, and it peed on you.
It peed on you.
Yeah.
I heard about that.
I know, but
It's not. You can't live
You can't live the dream again.
You already threw a rock at a lion, and it pissed on you.
Unless you're Tom Brady, then you can live it 6 times.
oh,
I thought it was interesting about the Uganda film industry is one of the things that I read about Uganda and this film was that what's it, VJ Emmie?
VJ Emmie, yeah.
He mentions at the end of this film that he come by my video hall, and we were all like, "What the fuck is a video hall?" It turns out that it's a movie theater, that where one person owns it essentially, or a group of people, and they broadcast movies. But there's a riffer the entire time.
Yeah.
So you go in and you never just sit there and watch a movie like we do, where you don't talk, or you're not supposed to, fucking teenagers. There's a guy riffing the whole time.
Yep.
well, and he even says that in somewhere in the riff tracks where he's talking over the movie.
In the riff tracks? He works for riff tracks?
Oh, I'm
Him
sorry.
And Bill Corbett.
Yeah, Bill had to let him go. He kept yelling, "This is Uganda" at inappropriate times.
It's like, that's it. You're out.
All right, Kevin, you can come back.
Yeah.
So, but when he's talking over, he actually says something along those lines where this is how we watch movies in Uganda.
He does at the beginning.
Right.
Yeah. Which, after he said that, I was like, okay, that would explain why they have this person talking over the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Sorry. And that's when I started to enjoy it more. And honestly, because at first I was like, what the hell is going on here? Why is this guy talking over it? Like, did he buy the only copy in town? And
Yes.
he's like, now I can put my own 2 cents on this because I don't like the director. And it's some kind of personal vendetta. But then you realize that he's just funny.
Or just like some Twitch asshole that's like, yeah, I'm PewDiePie, or whatever that guy fucking
There's
does.
they do that on Twitch now. They've got people watching movies and like, oh my God, that just happened. Like, watching a movie with Chatty Cathy online. No thanks.
Yeah, I don't even like that when it's at my own house.
Yeah, you do kind of.
Yeah, we riff the whole time, but we don't do that because we'd have to bathe frequently to, put ourselves on the internet. That's why we do this vocal thing.
Yeah.
We all look
I'm
like
not
shit.
showering the day that we record.
We can still do it on MySpace.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We just post the pictures where we actually washed our hair that day. Or actually, we don't even post pictures of ourselves. We just impose our faces on pictures where the people look clean.
It's a good thing there's no smell-o-vision on the internet. Smell-o-vision.com.
I think we might get some fans with that. Some people like some weird stuff.
It smells like beans.
Yeah, it smells-
This podcast is very earthy and bakey.
And then every once in a while you get like a dog fart.
Right.
Because
You just in the chat, you're like, I'm not gonna lie, that smells like a bacterial infection. You should get that checked out.
the fans are all writing in because they're concerned.
I had to use cream with heavy metals to get rid of that.
Yeah, this copy of Who Killed Captain Alex is the only one in existence because apparently the director, what's his name?
NG.
Nabawana IGG.
Nabuwana IGG. IGG is shortened.
It's his initials put at the end of his name rather than the beginning.
Yeah. He deleted the copy of it off of his hard drive so that he could free up room for his second film.
So I read that, but I also read that there was a power surge and it just fried it.
Oh, no.
So there's conflicting reports on that.
Huh.
Also, I guess I should add in that if you do go in, you could, I think, still contact them, possibly because their blog has been down for a while. But for a while there, you could give them some money and then green screen yourself dying, and they would put it in the movie.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
right
you could be in the movie dying.
Yeah, if they still make movies, because again, 2016 was the last time they did anything
with a date. But again, as I heard the only reason I knew this existed was the thing that was supposed to happen at Draft House last year.
Yeah,
so
maybe it exploded. I don't know. You guys ready to get into it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
This movie starts out hot.
Sort of.
Yeah, guys yells, "Hot is hot! This is Uganda!" And then somebody slaps somebody else.
There's a bunch of reporters who have swarmed in on what appears to be a motel where Captain Alex has been called in, and Captain Alex, I guess, is like this super cop, sort of. What is
He's
Captain
a super
Alex?
commando.
He's a super commando.
They say he's the best soldier in Uganda.
Then what's he doing taking down the Tiger Mafia?
They had to go to martial law.
Oh,
the Tiger
okay.
Mafia was so bad that they had to call in the actual army.
Wow.
Yeah, these fuckers were stealing everybody's Twinkies. It wasn't cool.
They look like a pretty rinky-dink outfit to me.
I mean, did you see their poster? It's probably like 4x4.
I don't even know what is the Tiger Mafia into.
They were going to do a deal at one point in the movie, but we never saw it go down because it got interrupted by a gunfight.
There's a briefcase. We know that they deal in briefcases.
They have money in briefcases.
You're inferring that there's money. The only thing we know is that they had a briefcase.
They have a briefcase. And at one point, even though they're in such large and in charge situations that they have required the government to come after them, the leader of the Tiger Mafia goes to his paid-off police captain and then just kind of takes whatever guns are laying around because he's apparently he just says out loud, "I'm kind of short on guns right now. I'm going to take these ones," and then he does.
And he's like, "Wait." The guard's like, "Hey, wait!" And he's like, "Hey, I'm going to give these guns a good home."
Yeah, he's like, "Don't worry, I'm going to get good use out of them.
We'll take good care of them.
I won't shoot you with them, maybe."
So he's like a celebrity, basically. Like, whoa, Captain Alex is here.
Yeah.
Now shit's about to happen.
Well, it can only be Captain Alex. You can't have two names with this guy because Richard is only a one-name character as well.
Richard, the leader of the Tiger Mafia.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of like Madonna.
Well,
like the icon type of thing.
Yeah.
Alex.
Alex is here.
And then Richard.
I loved his third album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The naming is very sort of off-brand. The side spin of the Hong Kong films when Shaw Brothers and Golden Harvest was there. They always like, "Stan,
right?
Don't do that." And like the really bad overdub ones where there's only 4 people doing it.
They've got fake beards and mustaches glued onto them, and it's like, Stan? So I guess step 1 to take down the Tiger Mafia is to build an army base
in the shitter.
Yeah, where the sewer is.
Right.
There's a lot of sneaking through sewage in this movie.
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny because the guy's like, "Well, this is where you guys can set up camp. It's where our sewage is." And he's like, "But don't worry, I'll let you know before I go to the toilet."
Yeah, right.
And he walks off, and then they're like, "Okay, you lazy bastards, get to work."
Get to work. Build an army base in the shitter.
Yeah.
Make sure you build a cool place to chill out because we're going to have a karaoke hall there as well. We like to kick back after a hard day of building shitter army base.
Absolutely. Well, even the, mafia bosses need to relax, as stated by VJ Emmie later in the film.
Yeah, they got a karaoke lady there. She's like the tops.
She's proving that karaoke sucks everywhere, especially when you're not drunk. As long as you're a shithouse, it always sounds good.
These army guys get pretty wasted.
Oh, they think it sounds good. It's just we didn't because we weren't drunk.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
If I was like, 6 margaritas in, I would have been like, do more than a feeling next. Come on, lady.
Play Freebird.
Well, she did have a very fancy red dress on. I would assume if I was super drunk that she would be able to sing anything, right? She's a professional lounge singer in my eyes at that point. And I'm like, dude, I'm with Sam. Play Freebird.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh. I like especially when they yell at her to sing Dolly Parton.
Yeah,
sure.
And then she just sings some other random song.
Right.
Sing Dolly Parton. We
I
love
think
Dolly
that was
Parton.
VJ Emmie that was asking for Dolly Parton ex post facto.
Right.
Well, he had a good idea there because that would have been super funny.
They're all shithouse drunk, and they all fall in love with this woman. So they get in a giant, massive karaoke fight.
So no, they get beat up by her husband. Let's just call it what it is.
Are you sure that? I think he's just some random drunk guy, and VJ Emmie is just embellishing on his narration skills.
Yeah, well, he's with her at the table, so her boyfriend, whatever her gentleman caller of the evening, if that's
right.
all it is.
Yeah.
What goes ahead and beats up the commandos.
Yeah, they cause a bar brawl for the most part, and Captain Alex comes in and he has to lay the smackdown. He's like, "You sons of bitches! I'm Captain Alex. This is supposed to be a tip-top operation, and we're going to take down the Tiger Mafia, but instead you guys are jerking each other's off at a goddamn karaoke bar.
Yeah.
Whose idea was building a karaoke bar? Why are we even building an army base? We're fighting the Mafia."
Well, they got tired of building. They didn't ever. They're like, we're not building the base. This is a shitter.
Yeah, right.
So they just went into town. And that's what he's like. The villagers are being nice to us, so let us stay here. Don't fuck with them, because otherwise we'll have to go build a base in the shitter.
Right.
And, I would agree with Captain Alex. I would be like, yeah, don't fuck this up for us, you bunch of dicks. I don't want to sleep next to somebody's Lincoln log as it's floating by, like, oh, I see Tom's been eating corn again because obviously it's a small village.
Yeah.
This is the last we see of Captain Alex for some
For
time.
a while.
He just kind of, whatever.
The next time we see him is also quite brief. So at some point later, Operation Cut Tiger Balls goes into effect. And that's when these army guys, commandos, start trying to fuck up Tiger Mafia's daily operations, I guess.
Yeah.
You'd think at some point that they would just steal their 4-inch by 4-inch flag of the tiger head and be like, now you're no longer the Tiger Mafia. We have your flag. Like capture the flag type thing.
Nope.
And then Richard would be like, I want my flag back.
Maybe. Probably not.
And my brother.
Yeah, they show up at their hideout.
Sort of. They have
yeah,
to
right.
it's a business deal because they can. It seems like they're unable to find the Tiger Mafia when they want to throughout the film. So this is like they got a tip and they're going to sting them at this deal.
Right. They're also typically unable of taking anybody out because 4 of them surround a guy who is taking a pee. And they're like, freeze, and he just beats the fuck out of all of them and walks away.
He runs out of the movie because we never see him again.
Right, he's gone.
But I do like the narration at this point. It's like, super kicker. He's just like using the other guy as a catapult to kick other dudes in the chest.
This guy just beats the shit out of these 4 commandos. Now, it seems like Captain Alex's team stinks.
Well, he's got the B squad. That's why they were like, oh, we'll bring in Captain Alex. Maybe he can do something with these guys. And then that's why Captain Alex is not in the movie very much, because he's like, oh, God, this is so embarrassing. I can't do anything with these people.
Well, I think the first test for his squad was when he was like, yeah, this is it. Go ahead and build this fort in the shitter. And when they started doing it, he's like, oh, my God, they're actually going to do it. Oh, fuck. Hogan's Heroes, here we come.
The lead starts to fly during this deal. There's post-production gunfire everywhere. We should comment slightly briefly because we can't do a good job of justifying or describing the prop guns that are used. But essentially, they're not guns. They are...
There's squirt guns. There's some cardboard tubes.
Right.
They got creative.
Yep. Wooden guns, wooden bullets.
Oh, yeah. I love the the string of bullets. What's that called?
Bandolier.
The bandolier bullets made out of sticks.
Yeah, just carved wood.
Sure.
Yeah, that was my favorite.
Yeah. So the post-production lead starts to fly, and it leads to kung fu. Like, everybody at one point kind of just gives up on guns and starts doing kung fu because the Tiger Mafia also knows kung fu
Absolutely.
that the army guys know as well.
Is that on the chance of just completely sounding ignorant, right? Because the voiceover guy goes, "Everybody in Uganda can do kung fu."
Yeah, he says
Right.
that.
Is that true?
Yes, Jackie.
Yeah,
everyone
anywhere.
It's like this just genetic superpower. They have a baby, and the baby knows kung fu. Everybody.
What happened was after they knocked over the Idi Amin regime, somebody played Kung Fu Fighting, and it just stuck.
Yeah. Do you feel that maybe sometimes you say things that are outlandish?
That some questions have an immediate answer. Even the babies know Kung Fu.
God damn it. Well, I don't know. Maybe it was like a trend or something.
Maybe they all know, my Chuck Chando.
Right.
That's
they
my
always-
martial art from watching karate movies is Chuck Chando.
What the hell's Chuck Chando?
I do things that Jackie Chan and Chuck Norris do to very poor success.
Oh my God. I think the last time I tried to do a high kick, I pulled something in my leg and I was down for like 5 days.
Your high kick was more like a medium low kick, and you still got injured.
And then went down backwards like, going down.
The life of, well, I can do a lot of things when I'm drinking.
Well, it seems like the Commandos do pretty bad because they all get pretty much blown away. Like, there's a lot of dead Commandos after this operation.
This is the weed out mission.
Is it? Because they
Yeah, whoever isn't still trying to build a fort in the shitter and then doesn't get killed here starts actual training later.
Right. Maybe. I don't know. I have a lot of questions about that. One of the things that does go right, or maybe, or just completely impromptu, who knows, they capture the leader's brother.
Yeah, even though he's been shot doesn't he get shot in the face?
I thought he was dead.
He looked dead to me, but he's all right.
Maybe.
He's just grabbing his knee when they get him.
We never see him again.
We
do
never
we?
see him
Yeah.
again. So he could be totally dead, and the whole
yeah.
thing's a big ruse. But either way, Richard finds out about it while watching MTV. There's breaking news. The
Rowan
What?
news station. Rowan channel.
No, Raman TV is what it's called.
Oh.
Yeah. If you don't know, then don't say.
Well, it's kind of like my karate question.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to throw out the vibe, Justin, and see if anybody's going to ping you on Craigslist.
Every time.
Yeah.
You're going to get called out for you're making stuff up. So Richard finds out about his brother, that he's been captured, and he's super pissed.
Yeah. He's going to really fuck up Puff's day. Played by one G Puffs.
G Puffs. Yeah, right. His right-hand man, Puffs.
Yep.
Played by G Puffs.
There's a big fight. They get really pissed off. He's like, I hate you guys so bad. He shoots 2 of them.
He shoots his wife.
And then he shoots his wife.
Right.
Because she's not his brother.
He's got other wives, apparently. So
12 more.
Yeah, who
She's
cares?
number 12, so she's got 11 extras.
Yeah.
Well, and he even tells the guy, you saved this bitch instead of my brother. And he's like, I saved your beautiful wife. He's like, that. And then she goes, bitch, what bitch? And then she starts walking towards him. She shoots her in the face.
No,
Like-
that's the same one that we see later. She
Yeah.
gets shot in the shoulder.
Oh, okay.
Well, it
appears
looks like
to be
she
in the
gets
face.
shot in the face.
So they get... Richard's like...
He goes ape shit on him, kicks him out of there. They're like, fuck this guy. I hate working for this guy. One guy claims he's a Russian mercenary. And then Richard comes back out. He's like, okay, I'm sorry for shooting you guys and beating you up.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So then he shoots him and beats him up a little bit more. And then
But he did this with care.
with
this
care
time.
this time. He's a little more gentle. And he's like, now go out and get my fucking brother. And then,
They've got a spy.
yeah.
They've got they bring in their spy who has infiltrated Captain Alex's camp
as a honeypot,
essentially.
And then later in the film, I guess she's the cook?
Which seems to me like, what kind of loosey-goosey operation are you doing here, Captain Alex? You're the best at it. The fucking Ugandan government has brought you in to solely clean up this tiger mafia problem, and you're getting trapped by a honeypot? Come on, man.
Absolutely. Happens to the best of them. Even Adam West.
Well, if you look at this movie, there's only like 4 chicks in this whole village.
Okay.
That we see, right?
Sure.
2 of which are married to the mafia.
Okay.
And then the cook.
Uh-huh.
Who's also the honeypot.
Sure.
And then there's like 1 female soldier.
Okay.
There's a couple female soldiers.
Oh, okay. I only saw the 1.
And your point being?
There's not a lot of options, Justin.
He's the best at this, Jackie. The number 1 in the world. If he can get sideswiped by, frankly, a pretty homely looking woman, well, I've got problems with Captain Alex's operation.
Hey, he's no James Bond, okay?
Yeah. I think he's a little distracted too easily.
And speaking of operations, we now look at the multi-pronged efforts of Richard, who has, 1, put in a honeypot, 2, sent several men directly to retrieve his brother, and now has himself gone to the police who he's paid for to be like, you should just let my brother out.
Right.
So he's really he's throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks.
All the angles. The spy goes in to Captain Alex's tent, because he lives in a tent, apparently, and it's like, hey, let this guy go. And he's like, no, what? No way. Let's do it. And she's like, okay, it's not working.
Yeah.
He goes, I want to beat the rat. And she
Right.
goes, you need to take a bath.
Right.
And he's like, okay, but when I come back, we're going to beat the rat.
Did you find out what beating the rat was?
No.
Okay.
I looked it up with Uganda, Beat the Rat. I looked it up with the movie title, and it goes back and forth whether it's masturbation or sex.
Okay.
And depending on whoever's answering, those are the 2 answers you get.
Well, considering that there's 2 of them involved, I'm guessing it's sex. So, beating the rat could probably just, it depends on the context that you throw it out in.
I also found out that Twat the Rat is a British game.
British game.
It's a British pub game.
Okay.
Where there's a screen, and then you get this pipe that runs down, and you put a plastic rat, but the screen covers your hand so they don't know when you're releasing this plastic rat.
Okay.
And it shoots out the bottom of this tube, and then everybody's got a stick, and then whoever hits it down wins as it's flying out the tube.
That sounds dumb as shit.
But it's called Twat the Rat.
Twat the rat.
I like the alternate version where you put Chuck Norris's head in the back.
The rat never wins.
No, but you get to beat Chuck Norris with a bat.
Yeah.
Get it, kill the rat. Okay, little missing in action 2 joke. So she Captain Alex is taking a bath. She goes out and makes a phone call to Richard. She's like, it's not working. He won't do it. I'm going to go bone him. Meanwhile, his 2 dudes have infiltrated the camp, snuck into some army bros place, nabbed them.
Take 2 guys that aren't Captain Alex.
Have nothing to do with anything, but
never take their radio away either.
In the dark of the night, a shot rings out.
Uh-huh.
Captain Alex has been struck.
Captain Alex is down.
Captain Alex is dead.
He's really all the way dead. And
what did Captain Alex do in this movie to deserve his name in the title?
I'm saving my theory for the end about who shot Captain Alex.
Sure. That's not even my fucking beef with this. What did Captain Alex do?
He was the best.
Yeah, dude, when you're at the top, it's lonely, and everybody's trying to knock you down, take your title. I mean, look at Mr. T.
I mean, I'll give him that he made it halfway through the movie, but he was seriously in the movie for about 5 minutes.
He didn't do any gunfighting.
He did nothing. He didn't fight a single guy.
Well, I considered that, considering that he made it through half of the movie, right?
Right.
For a movie called Who Killed Captain Alex, I think he did pretty good.
All right.
As far as survival rates.
All I know about Captain Alex is that he doesn't like taking baths.
Right. He was pretty grumbly about it.
Yeah.
What a weirdo. The next day, all his army guys are pretty bummed, and they're just sitting around, but Captain Alex's brother shows up, and he's like, hey, here's the deal. I know some kung fu, because everybody does, right?
Sure.
And I want to join the investigation. And they're like, well, hold on. It's a little too early for the investigation.
He's obvious. There's a guy talking about an investigation, and it seems like the workings of the investigation are happening behind him. There's some guys carrying wood around.
Right.
Like, I don't think that's an investigation. I think you guys are moving logs, and I don't even know why you're moving them. Aren't you commandos?
So they're like, okay, yeah, I guess do whatever, bud. And Richard has got the two army guys, and he's interrogating them, and he's pissed because somebody killed Captain Alex and it wasn't his dudes.
Yeah.
So he's like, who the fuck killed Captain Alex, you army guys? You guys know, right? Was it you? Did you do it? No, I didn't do it. Well, who did it? God damn it. I need him alive for
some reason.
X?
Like, no one ever goes, well, he's dead now. Doesn't that work for us?
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, that's what he wanted.
Because the police
It's
guy...
not what he wants, Jackie.
The police guy said, well, with Captain Alex around, things are different. I can't just let your brother go. Well, now he's dead.
Right. Problem solved.
Problem solved.
You do the little hand wipey thing and you go back to moving briefcases around, I guess.
Moving them around, yeah.
I would have just said it was me if I was part of the Tiger Mafia.
Well, he's so mad about Captain Alex being shot that you can't like no, I'm not going to admit it.
Dude, are you kidding me? He just shot his wife for being rescued. Like, no, I'm not going to.
She wasn't even rescued. She was the only one that was good at gunfighting in that whole sequence.
Well, in the context of what Richard knows, a guy came in with her and said, I saved your wife, and he shot them both.
Yeah.
I'm not doing shit. I just smile and nod around Richard. This guy is a fucking wild card.
The 401k with Richard must be great because, why stay on, huh?
Yeah, I think he's on fucking meth or something. This guy is nuts.
He's bananas.
Yeah. Yeah, you just do whatever he says. So soldiers back at the camp, they find a tracking device in the tent, which tells them that these two soldier guys have been kidnapped.
Yeah. So what happens is the radio that when they get kidnapped, the Tiger Mafia kidnappers don't take the radio away from them. And then the guys that have been kidnapped have the radio on, and they're like, we shouldn't be on the radio. They're going to know we got kidnapped, and we're going to get in trouble. Well, the radio's on.
Right.
We've got two groups of people that, by their own logic, should have turned it off.
Right.
Neither of them have done it, and it's on. And then another guy's like, hey, on the other end of this tracking device, there's some guys talking.
Uh-huh.
And they're still alive, and they've been captured. Do we know where they are? No, this is a tracking device, not a radio. Then there's some confusion, and then it just cuts to another scene.
It cuts to Alex's brother, who's gone to his kung fu master, but his kung fu master has some dudes out front that are just like, hey, guy, don't walk around here. We'll fight.
Yeah,
so he has to fight his way past them.
Some real... low rent seventh column going on here.
Yeah, right.
Is this his dojo?
His
or is he
master,
just like visiting? Like, oh, well, I'm in the area. I should probably pay my respects to the local dojo.
No,
is he a Shaolin monk?
Yes, he comes from the Ugandan Shaolin temple.
I thought that's what they said. That he
no,
was...
that's what VJ Emmie said.
Are you sure? Because I thought that was in the actual white subtitles.
Okay.
Yeah. This guy is his master. He goes to him and asks him, I need your help. And the master's like, oh, we only use kung fu for self-defense and to protect others.
And fitness.
Not for vengeance. Oh, and fitness, of course.
Yeah.
But not for vengeance.
But not for vengeance, no.
But Master, I really need help. All right, well then come on inside.
And then we never see him again.
And then nothing happens with that.
He probably shows him a sweet move.
Like if you get
going
close
over
enough.
the top.
He's like, so here's what you do. Take one knee, punch him right in the balls. Oh, you taught us never to ball punch. He's like, yeah, but this is revenge. It's different now. The rules don't apply.
So instead of getting revenge training, he takes a nap in a tree.
I thought this was a very clever hammock.
It's just some ropes around a tree, Jackie.
I know, but like I would not have thought of that. That's like awesome for camping.
Ropes around a tree.
That's
Yeah.
what a hammock is.
Yeah, but I mean, you could just
He's
like
not in the ropes. He's on a tree branch.
on
No,
the
he-
ropes.
there was like a fork in the tree, and he used nylon rope to make a bed in the fork.
I don't know if he did.
He did.
Yeah, he did. That's why I'm
No,
like, dude, this is a great idea.
You guys call it bed. I call it ropes around a tree log. It doesn't look comfortable at all to me.
I thought it
looks
did.
like it makes zero difference in the comfortability between a tree branch and not a
It's
roped tree branch.
More comfortable than being eaten by a large animal.
Or you can just climb up in the tree without the rope. It's the same effect.
You'd fall out.
He's not tied to the thing.
No, it's a nice cradle. You won't rock either
Oh,
way.
Jesus Christ.
It's easier
know-
than sleeping in the tree by itself.
Yeah. And, like the worst case scenario is he's going to roll on his stomach. He's going to put his wee-wee in the ropes in a small little area, right? And then he's going to twist a little bit and his balls are going to get snapped into the rope. And then he's going to wake up and be like, ah!
I think the worst case scenario is the rope comes undone and he goes and he takes a 12-foot face first digger. That's a little bit worse than like, oh, it snapped my pee-pee.
What do you think is worst case scenario, Justin?
12 feet on your face or a little pop to the wiener.
I have better things to do than answer these
Hypotheticals.
these BuzzFeed quizzes you prepared for me.
You know what's going to happen is in 2 years you're going to be in this situation where you're up in a tree and there's a fork. All you got's a night on the rope and you're like, I guess I am hoping for the PP.
You know, I know little about the future, but I know that is not a scenario that's ever going to happen. So he takes his nap, then he goes down and has some ground fish.
He has a considerable amount of difficulty figuring out how he's going to cook this fish. He kind of rubs a stick on it. He tries like he's going to poke the stick through the tail and hang it. There's a number of things that he sort of thinks about attempting but doesn't, and then some lady shows up in a bush.
My problem with the whole thing is none of those problems, Sam. It's that he reaches down after lighting a fire and grabs a fish off the ground.
Yeah, he left it there.
It's a ground fish. It's
Sure.
like you just reach over, hey, look at that, a ground fish. I'll have that for dinner.
Maybe the reason he's sleeping in the tree, he figures I'll leave this fish down there, and if it's an animal that can climb a tree for me, then it'll just eat the fish and leave. But he wakes up, and there's still a fish there, and he's like, breakfast!
I'll have some fish. Yeah, sure enough, Richard's wife is there next to his fish stash. She's been shot in the shoulder.
Yeah, not the face, which... Yeah.
And he's pretty rude about it. Like, hey, you're totally screwing up my fish dinner, my ground fish dinner. Here, have some herbs.
She's
Put
like-
these herbs on your shoulder.
And a
Water,
shirt.
please, water. And he's like, here you go. Hands her a bottle and goes back to the fish. Like, fuck off, lady.
And then, yeah, later he's like, that looks like a gunshot. Here's a shirt. Don't get any blood on it. That doesn't make sense because she can't do that. And the one thing she really doesn't need right now, she actually has a shirt on that hasn't been shot.
Right, correct.
And she's somehow not getting blood on that one, but the one that you're going to give her is going to be impossible to not get blood on.
Well, he does pick some herbs or something, and he's like, here, put those on there. It'll stop the bleeding. And I think this is great acting when she puts it on there, and she's like, oh! Like, when you put alcohol or hydrogen peroxide on a cut, and it hurts like hell. I think this is the same scenario.
Yeah, this is just like when Rambo uses gunpowder to cauterize the wound in Rambo 3. It has that same gravity to it.
It totally does.
Go ahead, Jackie. You got to make the sound. No, he doesn't gravel at all. He just goes, "Ooh."
And then it echoes like Khan through all of Afghanistan. What was that, everyone? There's only one thing it could be. Sylvester Stallone poking himself with a stick. There's no wild animal sounds anything like that.
They're like, oh my God, he's back.
So, mind you, Captain Alex's brother is on a mission for revenge.
Yes.
So he does some practice karate.
Oh, yeah. You got to stay limber. Well, the other thing is you cannot forget that it is for fitness.
Right. And then he takes a swim.
We goes fishing.
Yeah, he gets another fish.
There's nothing happening that's revengey here.
He's showing off for the lady he found in the bushes.
I don't know what he's up to because it's not revenge.
No. But I don't know why he's fishing. He hasn't eaten the one that's on the fire still.
He's just hanging out.
The fire's gone out, too.
He's just living outside, being a consumer of nature.
Yeah. He's enjoying it.
I don't think I could do it. I don't think my butthole could take the using leaves for toilet paper. I just think it'd be way too scratchy.
Did you know that snipers pack rocks? That is what, like, if you're going to be one of those ghillie guys, you have your own rock. Because you're going to be out there for days.
Well, according to Sniper 5 or whichever one it is, when Behringer leaves for a while and Billy Zane comes back.
Hey,
Billy Zane's making him. He's doing the training because he's the number 2 sniper.
Uh-huh.
And they're doing their sniper practice.
He's the number 2 sniper in Sniper 5 when you're about to talk about number 2 for snipers.
Exactly. Well, this is going to be more of a number 1 situation.
Oh, okay, all right.
But as dictated by number 2.
It's very important. Listen.
Yeah, it'll be easy to sort out. Just watch the movie. He's making him hold position for like hours and hours. They're like, "What if we have to pee?" And he's like, "You just pee your pants." Mm-hmm. What? He's like, "Yeah, you learn to pee your pants. You learn to like it. Hell, I like it so much. I'm doing it right now."
It's me, Billy Zane.
It's me, Billy Zane. And you're like, "Yes."
Okay, so anyways, in a different movie, Richard has kidnapped all of the news reporters, the same ones that were interviewing
Or
Captain
2.
Alex. Yeah, right.
Yeah, the 2.
And he's like, "It's me, Richard, from the Tiger Mafia. Put me on the news." And so they dial up HQ.
They plug a camera into an old telex.
Yeah.
And they're on TV.
They're on TV. And he says he's going to start killing the hostages unless he gets his brother, which now the hostages have become the 2 soldiers and this entire news crew.
Yeah. And he shoots one of them right then.
I think it's the boom guy.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was the second lady, like the producer or something.
No, I'm pretty sure it was a dude named Phil.
So he just shoots one of his own guys then, because there was
Maybe.
only 2 of them.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought
Yeah.
he shot the other gal,
He's
the
like,
teletext gal, and then he shoots one of his own dudes, like, bam, and that guy too.
I got all these hostages, including anyone who ever meets me.
yeah, I'm going to shoot the hostages and my own men till I run out of people to shoot.
Who were hostages. So the general of the Ugandan military, I guess.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's what he is.
It says that it's time to attack Tiger Mafia. Fuck this whole thing about Captain Alex was a shit show. I was wrong. Let's just attack him.
Well, they also, because have we gotten to the part where the world's greatest drug dealer, killer, commando is in vacation?
Maybe.
Because this is where they pick him up. Because one of the soldiers, one of the 2 lady soldiers is like, "I know this guy. He's really good at killing drug dealers. Like, he captures them. He never screws up. He always captures them, and then he cuts their heads right off." And you're like, "Okay, well, that's a little extreme." But he's on vacation here.
He just happens to be in Uganda this week.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he killed the
Sure.
Russian mafia guy.
Oh, yeah. And one of the, she said, Colombians, too.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So
Pick him up.
that guy's like, "Okay, yeah, let's grab him.
Let's go with that.
Let's grab that guy."
Alex was a mistake.
Yeah. What were his qualifications? He was the only guy that decided it was a bad idea to build a fort in the shitter. Right. But it was what we had.
He's the best soldier. So meanwhile, Captain Alex's brother is still on a quest for revenge. And he's sitting on a rock
Kind of.
talking to Richard's wife.
Yeah.
About her past and how about that one time when she fell in love, when she was young and fell in love.
Yeah, and there's
flashback
to her marriage, which is her being tortured.
The very
inside
first
of-
words Richard says in this flashback are "marry me or die."
And then you see her inside of a heart.
Right.
And it's like, wow, this is... And then somebody dumps water on her and slaps her in the face. And this is the point where VJ Emmie yells, "This is Uganda!" You're like, is that the right timing there?
And then the lady comes in and burns her face with a cigarette. And the guy is like, "You're like Uganda!"
Yeah!
And I'm like, oh my God.
Like, make me cringe moments is when he's like, "We own this!" You're like, no!
Oh, no!
What a weird flashback. So the soldiers set up their plan of attack. There's 50 of them going in, but Richard's got the fucking tracking device. And he overhears this entire fucking plan, so he knows that their entire plan is based off a sneak attack when they know that he's got a radio because they've been listening to the two-way radio. Like, come on. Jeez.
Is this where they're planning the sewer sting?
Sure, whatever.
Okay, so this is where, because this is important, because this is when the guy shows up. That's the commando killer, or the killer commando drug dealer killer guy.
Okay.
And he's like, "We're going to have to do this early. We're going to strike early because I'm on vacation and I want to go dancing later."
Right. Let's get this over
So he's
with.
taking it really seriously, but he isn't really wanting to fuss with it too much because there's butts to be shaken.
It's more than Captain Alex took.
He has got to bust a move later.
This guy is high as a kite.
Oh, yeah, he is.
I mean, if you look at him, his eyes are slit, right? And he's got his little joint there. He's probably smoking an actual joint on the TV.
Why not?
And he's just sitting there like, I don't give a fuck. And so, like, every character around him is talking about this plan but him, and he's just sitting there smoking a joint.
Why is everything in slow motion right now, man?
Yeah. Like, I will kill your drug dealer. Just keep these drugs rolling to me. Yeah. Wait a second. This is a conflict of interest.
Did I just cut that guy's head off?
Hey, whoa.
Has he got any weed?
You guys have any Doobies mixtapes?
And by mixtapes, I mean bigger joints.
Bigger joints.
All right, so guess what? Alex's brother has finally decided it's time for revenge.
Yeah.
And the wife tags along with him as he goes to invade headquarters of Tiger Mafia, while there's 50 commandos on their way to also storm Tiger Mafia, and Tiger Mafia is setting up their own plans to take out the commandos.
And the entire government.
Because
they send out one guy to steal a helicopter.
Yeah, some Tiger Mafia commando. You can't have that. Yeah, he steals a fucking chopper.
He blows up several government buildings.
A church and a school.
You say blow up, but it seems more like the helicopter smashed him.
Yeah, that's
what it looked like.
It smashes him.
Because this isn't a helicopter. This is a cardboard cutout with some really bad.
It's some bad
work.
There's some computer things happening that are slightly better than Birdemic.
Really? I don't know. I think it's rivalry
Birdemic.
Yeah,
okay.
It's really close.
It's real close. But yeah, they smash the buildings with a helicopter.
It seems like it smashes them.
And then simultaneous to this, they're replanning the plan outside, and it involves the sewer.
Right.
Now.
Right.
And this is when the crack commando drug killer guy starts giving him the pep talk. And it's really not good. He's like, okay, here's the deal, guys. Captain Alex was an idiot. He says that, and you're like, oh my God, Captain Alex was an idiot. And he's like, Captain Alex was an idiot. And these guys are drug dealers and you're soldiers, but they kill a lot more people than you, and they're a lot better at this. So you're probably going to die and you suck. And then he's like, I want you guys to concentrate on not shooting each other. You're like, whoa. It's got real here.
And then he's like, so pretend to listen.
I know I look like I'm high as a kite right now, but I'm still better at this than you. Completely shit-faced, whereas you're completely sober. And then they're like, okay, go team. And they're off.
Meanwhile, Alex's brother has busted into the base and is now having to prove that he's a kung fu guy. Like, hold on. You're here to get some revenge. Okay, well, I only get revengified by people who are really good at kung fu. So let's see what you got. Fight these guys.
I can't tell if he just like jumps in and then Richard's like, "Oh, you're just in time."
Yes.
For this, or if he like immediately gets captured, which is not very kung fu,
right?
And then is released in order to fight. It is unclear which one of those two scenarios has happened.
I thought that Richard thought that he was
one of the guys,
one of the tryouts.
Yeah,
and he's like, "So get in here with these other 4 douchebags and fight to the death, and whoever's still standing can join the crew."
Right.
And he's like, "This is what I came here to do." And they're like, "Yeah." So they're all on their own agenda, and no one really knows what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. Much like us.
Yeah. This is becoming. Once the guy tries stealing the helicopter, and then there's a second helicopter that shows up that's labeled, and you're like, okay, I kind of know what's going on. But this is the section where who's who is becoming a real problem.
Well, it gets even weirder because the stolen helicopter starts flying towards the base where the Tiger Mafia is fighting Alex's brother, and the guy jumps out of the helicopter, and then the helicopter smashes that building and then flies off and starts shooting some more thing without a pilot.
Yeah.
Or at some point he got back into it, I guess.
Well, I think once all of it starts shaking down, the government's helicopter finds the rogue helicopter and then smashes it into some trees.
Eventually, but this is before that happens.
Yeah, it just smashes some trees then beforehand.
No, it smashes the building that they're fighting in. That's how Captain Alex's brother doesn't get killed. It causes a temporary distraction, and then some other guys come in after that because the building still got most of its roof after getting smashed by a helicopter. And then Richard's like, fuck this shit, and then shoots his wife to death.
And you're like, why did she get a second chance in this movie?
Why did she show up at all?
So undignified for her character to just be like, I've made it back, Richard, and then just get shot. Do you remember me? And he's like, yeah, I'm shooting you again.
Boom.
I guess you take a lot of bullets.
And some of his own men. Again,
yeah,
he's still shooting more of his own guys.
Just shoots his own men.
Yeah, to this point in the movie, all hell breaks loose for me. I am having a hard time following it. So I'm just going to agree with everything you guys just said because I'm not sure what the hell is going on. The only 2 people I can really keep track of during this entire sequence is the guy in the red and the guy with the Alpha Tau Omega hat on.
Okay.
He's got a fraternity hat, like beanie on, and he's dressed in white. So those 2 I can keep track of. Everyone else, I don't even know if the new sergeant mercenary guy has joined the fight. I don't know if he's part of it.
No, the commandos have full on attack now too.
Sure. Yeah, we don't get the super drug killer guy back until he gets the guy with the red pants later.
Yeah.
He's sort of MIA for a while.
Yeah, so this whole time, there's bullets flying, the commandos are invading, there's commandos on vines swinging in with guns blasting other dudes, there's grenades flying, there's more choppers, there's a gun and police chopper now as well.
I really liked when they swung in on the vines because obviously it was green screened, right?
Right.
And their guns are really visible and they're just such pieces of crap. And the after effects of the bullets are so incredibly funny to watch. But the actors are just owning it, right? Like the looks on their faces and everything, like, "Oh, take that motherfucker!"
I'll address the special effects for a second. If you watch some of this low budget stuff, like the mockbusters and the stuff in Japan that's doing in 2010, the asylum stuff, these don't look a whole lot better.
No, I thought it was great
because it looks bad.
Yeah, yeah. At some point, the rogue chopper gets like it's really kind of fucking everybody up.
Yeah. Does it still have someone in it, or is it driving itself?
There's nobody in that because that guy jumped out.
Yeah, he jumped out and started shooting people.
So I think it's gone rogue.
It's double rogue. That's what they get on the radio, and they've got, this is a bad situation. And you got to have like a really sweet name for the government chopper pilot, like, Osprey 2, we've got bad news. The other chopper's gone double rogue and no longer has a pilot.
It's shooting everybody on both sides.
On both sides. Yeah. If you don't make it out, well, tell your wife that you loved her. It's like, I'm not married, and this isn't Osprey 2. This is Foxtrot 3.
Well, Osprey 2 goes in and smashes the helicopter into a tree, but then I think explodes himself too. Like that, it seems like both helicopters get blown up in this tree explosion.
There's only one way to take out a double rogue helicopter, and that's to go double rogue yourself. And the only way to do that is to blow up.
Fight bad mat work with bad mat work. Okay, so
they're gone.
Now that the rogue choppers have been defeated, things are going well for the commandos because they blow away the red bandana guy, who was the one on the ground fucking all of them up, which means now they can capture Richard. Richard has been captured. He's taken away.
They don't, thank God, decapitate him.
No, thank God.
No.
And then the general's like sitting at home watching the news, and he learns about this chopper that blew up all the government buildings, and now they're looking for a terrorist. That guy jumped out of a chopper.
You got him with your double rogue.
No, they didn't get him. He jumped out of the chopper before they got him.
Sure.
I don't know what happened to that guy.
He probably
just fucked off.
Made it.
He probably made it.
He stole the briefcase and ran.
Yeah. No, I'm the leader of the Tiger Mafia.
Yeah.
I've got a briefcase.
He's got the package.
Right. The end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But wait.
Oh.
Who killed Captain Alex?
It says that on screen.
Right.
And then doesn't answer it.
But wait. Who was Captain Alex?
Well, I know one thing. I know two things about Captain Alex. He doesn't like baths, and then he was an idiot.
I just don't know why we're supposed to care about Captain Alex.
No, especially when the character that's on vacation's like, that guy was an idiot. In the movie, he says it, like, that guy's an idiot.
What does it matter who killed Captain Alex?
So I think that blends into my theory about what happened to Captain Alex.
Please tell us.
Because right before he goes to take a bath, right, he's like, I always have my gun with me, yada, yada, yada.
Oh, no.
He goes off to... I think he was undressing and shot himself.
I think she's right.
He also says something about, like, the only other people that are allowed to see you naked are your fellow soldiers?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah. I think he was getting undressed and the idiot shot himself.
I'm going to agree completely. That makes perfect sense. Because he says he's an idiot later. It would be why no one could figure out who shot him.
Right.
He says, I like to take my gun into the shower with me. There's really no alternatives to what Jackie has just put down. He shot himself on accident.
He shot himself. Captain Alex is down. They find him. When they find him, he's buck naked from the bathtub. So it's not like some scene happened afterwards that we missed. He was shot in the bathtub.
Have you ever tried to wash your hair while holding a handgun? It's trickier than you think.
It's fucking dangerous, apparently.
Oh, Captain Alex shot Captain Alex.
That's what I think.
I think you're right. It's hard. You can't argue with it, Jackie.
No.
Anybody got any other questions?
So the karaoke bar is still there?
Yeah, right.
I bet that didn't get blown up. They were like, whatever you do, blow up the church and all that shit, but leave that damn karaoke bar because that place is hopping.
So, I thought that Richard kidnapped the president at the beginning.
I don't know what happened.
Because that's what they said, right?
The president got mentioned at some point.
Is he okay?
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe the general becomes president now. Like it's a a junta, some sort of like a military junta when the general is the president. Anybody?
No idea.
The hierarchy?
Yeah, the hierarchy goes right along with junta, Jackie. No, I believe it's called a military junta when the military becomes the president. It's not a coup. But Hitler was essentially a junta.
I thought he won an election.
Well, yeah, but won an election when burn the Reich.
So that's what a junta is.
Yeah, the military.
But when you got a guy
head
on
of military
first and third, you bunta.
Bunta. Bunta. Okay. Anybody else? Questions? I don't even know what your last question was.
My last question was what was with the president?
Yeah.
We don't know.
I don't know. My question is was there a result? Like, is anybody now better off after this movie?
I know that they did get the strike done the way they wanted to, so the one guy probably did get to go dancing later.
Okay.
So I think that worked itself out.
But he's not in a better position than he was at the start of the movie. He was going to go dancing at the start of the movie. He still gets to go dancing at the end of the movie.
Sure.
Nobody's actually better off.
Well, anybody who's still alive from the Tiger Mafia is doing great. Because
No.
Richard is now dead.
Yeah.
No,
or
they're not
captured.
doing great because all of their fucking buildings just got smashed by helicopters. The country is even in a worse state.
The country's in bad shape.
Without the Tiger Mafia than with them. All their buildings have been smashed. By a double rogue chopper.
By a double rogue chopper.
Yeah, it's bonkers.
Okay, so I got one more question.
Okay.
What do you guys think was in the briefcase?
Why can't it just be a briefcase? Honestly,
Nothing. There's nothing in the brief.
They're in the briefcase business, Jackie. They just pass a briefcase back and forth. If we answer that, we ruin half of our jokes for the podcast.
Unless it's Amway.
Then it's really just about the briefcase.
Scented candles.
Knives.
You
right.
can cut a can with these knives.
All right. So, final recommendations on Who Killed Captain Alex. I am going to start with Jackie.
I'm gonna give this thing a do. Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
I was entertained. I thought it was funny. I laughed my ass off. And I thought it was great that this was the first movie that started off the Wakanda.
Wakaliwood.
Actually, I think he might have done a horror movie before this. Okay. But this was the first Ugandan action movie.
Yeah, right.
And I thought that was great. And I thought that they did a great job. And I was entertained, and I liked the voiceover guy. And I think you'd be stupid not to watch this. It was free.
Whoa.
You stupid.
If you don't watch this, you're dumb.
If you
You're
don't
like
watch
Captain Alex.
God damn it, you stole my joke, you bastard. You didn't watch Captain Alex. You are Captain Alex.
Yeah.
I am also going to give it a 2. I will admit that it's a bit of a gear change for sure when you first started up. VJ Emmie is a little bit hard to take.
He's tough.
He's a little annoying here and there, and you just kind of want him to shut up and be able to watch the movie. But after it's over, it's kind of like one of those movies where you just kind of it's the further I get away from it, the more I enjoy it. Like, I think we kind of flushed out some plot points about it that in another budget movie they would have just been mistakes. Like, these are plot holes, but I think these are plot points. Like the fact that Captain Alex was a moron, and it makes you, again, who killed Captain Alex? It's like trying to, hey guys, really think about this. Really give it a thought. Captain Alex was an idiot.
Captain Alex was an idiot.
So yeah, I give it a 2. I did like it. Sam?
I gave it a do as well. I think if it would have been 90 minutes, it would be a don't.
Yeah.
I think the 60-minute thing really helps. And then as far as the VJ Emmie thing, like at first I tried to turn him off, like and ignore him.
Right.
And then he kind of grew on me and I got used to him. But by the end of it, I was actually counting on him to tell me who was who. Because I was getting confused. And I was like, I need you, VJ Emmie. I need you to tell me which faction these guys are with, because I am getting shit mixed up right now.
I'm with you. That is exactly where I was at with this movie too. With that guy, I was like, here we go.
Yeah, I think for $200, this is damn well done.
Absolutely.
I wish there's a lot of things that come out of other budget locations that are a ton shittier than this.
I've seen some shit that is worse than this that cost $10,000.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, yeah.
I think it's well done.
So there was one thing that I noticed that I almost forgot to talk about in Captain Alex. It was something I'd never seen before.
Okay.
The wife during the briefcase exchange scene was wearing a cargo skirt.
A cargo skirt.
Yeah, it was a short skirt, but it had cargo pockets on the side.
Yeah,
and I was like, cargo skirt? Nice.
Both fashionable and functional.
Yeah, no, they're not.
You could keep they're not?
No.
Cargo skirts.
No, because they're like cargo shorts or cargo pants. If you actually put shit in there, your pants will fall down. Like, oh, you have a lot of cargo? Good. Here's some pants that won't stay up if you fill them with cargo.
You've actually taken the one function of the cargo pants out of the equation.
Yeah.
Being able to climb over a log. You can't do that either.
Or if you fill up your pockets when you're wearing cargo shorts or pants, you walk up to a group of people like, what the fuck have you got in your pockets, man? Jesus.
My keys?
I got all this stuff I can carry. I have a lot of cargo. Yeah.
But now your butt is out.
But now your butt is out. And so I think the skirt would essentially perform the same function. If you actually utilized the pockets, it would just fall down.
All right. We don't have any streaming do's and don'ts this week. We've been busy preparing for the SMABFuzz. We will have the nominations for the 2018 SMABFuzz within the next couple weeks. I think we're waiting on the Infernal Machines or whatever.
Mortal Engines.
Mortal Engines to come to DVDs.
Or we might, just because it's a fucking $1, I might just jam out and see it.
I don't really want to do that. I'd rather be in my underwear. So instead,
you could bring some stuff in your cargo shorts
or my cargo skirt, and then it's like being in my underwear. I just open them up and let my balls hang free. Mm-hmm. We've got a great superpower debate.
Oh,
this is the hardest one I've ever worked on.
Oh my god!
All right, let's hear it.
It's been sitting out there for months. Believe it or not, I've been sitting on this one. But,
okay,
I've even got an origin story.
Oh god damn it!
Wow.
One night, while watching Unsolved Mysteries alone.
That's like watching Silence of the Lambs when it's raining outside.
That will be important later, just so you know. A terrible storm causes a tornado that sucks up a bunch of toxic waste. It then flies over your house and lightning strikes your router, sending radioactive electricity into your brain. You wake up in a primary health 10 minutes later and realize
you're dead because you're in a primary health for an emergency situation.
Whoops. No, you didn't go. You just woke up there. You didn't have a choice.
Yeah, and they're like, wow, he woke up on his own because we didn't do anything. They're in primary health.
That'll be $45 there.
Yeah. Okay. Then you realize you know the answer to every unsolved mystery ever, but you don't know which episodes the answers belong to. That's your great superpower.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, you know the answers, like
Greg, but then you don't. But then you can't say
Greg is the killer, or
so what? Yeah, you'll never patch them together.
Yeah.
Omaha is where your Aunt Phil is your Aunt Phil who you haven't seen in 10 years is. So you've got all the information,
but you can't connect it.
You can't use any of it.
Yeah, that's like a -4.
Yeah, dude.
This is your worst one. I liked that it had an origin story, too. And I was going to give it a 0, but I was like, that's not enough. And then the numbers just kept going in my head, and I was like, -4. That's where that one is.
Well, not to mention that, like... oh, my God, I just totally lost my thought.
Even trying to make sense of it would cause the delirium and madness and put you in the corner of a loony bin that this superpower would do to you.
You got GPS coordinates. Oh, I know the GPS coordinates. I don't know what they're to.
You're going to lunch with your brother and you just look up and say 46. And he's like, what? And you're like, I don't know.
I guess let's think about this. So if you did have GPS coordinates, you would at least know something. So you could go to those GPS coordinates and start digging, and then you maybe like there's treasure or something, and then hey, it's the treasure from season 5, episode 6.
If you
watch there could be that.
All of the unsolved mysteries, would you then know?
You'd still have to tie them together.
No, that just sucks.
No, what about my scenario about the treasure?
Well, you would probably dig up more dead bodies than treasure.
Yeah, you could end up digging up a dead body.
Then you would also kind of be...
So you're saying you wouldn't even risk it?
Or you'd go, okay, I've got the GPS coordinates to the place where he was killed. And then you get there, and it's mafia people, and they're like...
Could be that.
Who are you? And you're like, I don't know. And then they kill you.
So it's not worth the risk. The
risk.
The possible outcome of treasure or possible outcome of mafia death.
But like, what do you do when these answers are coming to you in your normal, like you have to go to your job or whatever, and you're doing it, and you're like,
you shake a guy's hand and you get that Chris Walken thing. You go, ugh.
Yeah.
Well, that, and you kind of become a fucking know-it-all that nobody likes, because at that point you're just sprouting out shit, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, there he goes again! I know the unsolved mystery," and then they start avoiding you by the donuts at work.
Sure,
that's just you. Because you're the asshole.
But
I totally would.
Even know the unsolved mystery, you just like turn to Greg and go, "It was bacteria in the ketchup." Right. He's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And you're like, I don't know.
What about something like that would be really obvious if you knew the answer to, like they're all their paranormal episodes, like spooky ghosts or like the alien, the UFOs.
If it was something really obvious, like
crop circles.
People had been missing for a while. You're like, nope, they just drowned. And then Gladys is like, "What are you talking about?" You're like, I don't know.
My dog ran away. I have no idea where he is. And then you'd be like,
you can't answer that because it wasn't an Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's the thing, is you only know the answers.
It's only home from the TV show.
And you're just like, yeah, no, she just stuck her kid's head in the microwave. You're like, what? That's horrible. And you're like, I don't know what I'm talking about. Would you like this last Danish?
You just have an Excel spreadsheet where you're just writing shit in as it comes up. And then
Sam, we've got a mystery for you. I can't help
I can't solve Why would you think that I solve mysteries? All I do is say random things all day.
I know that they're the answers to something.
I'm really wondering if I need to go see somebody about this.
Okay, that's the best argument I got for it. Give me your final score, Sam.
0.
0.
Because I can't give it a -4.
Jackie.
I'm also going to give it... Actually, I'm going to give it a 1 because it had an origin story, which was kind of cool.
All right.
And he survived the primary health.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm going to give you a 1.
Okay, all right.
0.5.
0.5. All right, so that wraps up this episode. Next week is my pick, and we're going to go back to a classic that we haven't dealt with in quite some time. I think it's finally time that we get to Picasso Trigger.
Oh, Picasso Trigger.
The third film by one Andy Sedaris, following our... it's his fourth?
It's
What's
his
number
fourth.
3?
There was a...
Oh, well, in the Guns, Girls, and G-Strings collection, it's the third.
It might have been the third released, but I believe it was the fourth made.
Right, because 7, which we've also done 7. So
Hard Hunted was actually made first and maybe released afterwards.
All right.
Yeah.
So this will follow our Hard Hunted, or not Hard Hunted, 7, Hard Ticket to Hawaii and Malibu Express episodes, obviously. So Picasso Trigger, there you go. Check it out.
Sounds like some ugly paintings.
That's what I saw the first time I watched it, and I was like, "Yay! This
Ugly
isn't what I
paintings.
thought."
Wait, a bunch of boobs.
Whoa.
All right, get to the chopper, guys. Visit us at www.stinkermadness.com. Follow Stinker Madness on Twitter at Stinker Madness. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you for listening, and get to the chopper.